They are set for tonight's main event in Sacramento. Bob Papa along with Teddy Atlas, the IBF Junior Lightweight Elimination bout. Diego Corrales squaring off against Gairy St. Clair. Very, very important bout for both young men tonight in Sacramento. Tonight, the #1 ranking in the junior lightweight division of the IBF is at stake. Number 7, Diego Corrales, squaring off against number 12, Gairy St. Clair. The Sacramento native has been impressive in 1998, winning all 6 of his bouts with 5 big knockouts.
I got to win my fight tonight. It's either do or die, you know. Got my whole country, the whole of Brooklyn, whole everybody just looking out, you know what I'm saying?
21-year-old Diego Corrales took this fight on 3 weeks preparation. We saw him here on the Deuce on November the 20th in Las Vegas, a 5th-round stoppage of Hector Arroyo. Gairy St. Clair, a 6.5-month layoff. He had managerial problems. He says it will not be his distraction tonight. He's won 4 straight by way of decision. For the introductions, here's our ring announcer, Jim Hall.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night Fights on the Deuce. We're at California State University Sacramento Hornet Gymnasium as Don Shargan Productions, in association with Budweiser, the undefeated, undisputed king of beers, present an evening of professional boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman Ernest H. Weiner, Executive Officer Rob Lynch, Vice Chairman Dr. Terso Del Junco Jr., Commissioners Andrew Kim, Cal Soda, and Elmer Costa. Our timekeeper is Stan Gordon. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Van Buren Lemons and Dr. Smith Ketchum. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening, an IBF World Championship elimination bout featuring 2 undefeated boxers. The winner of this fight will next compete for the world title. It is scheduled for 12 rounds in the junior lightweight division. 3 judges are assigned to score this bout. They are Dave Nelson, Steve English, and Joan Ortega. When the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action is John Shorley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first in fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing black and white and weighed in at 130 pounds. He's had 15 victories, 7 by knockout with no losses and just 1 draw. From Georgetown, Guyana, here's Gairy St. Clair. St. Clair. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing white and red. He weighed in at 130 pounds also. He too undefeated with 25 victories, 21 by knockout. From Sacramento, here is Diego Chico Corrales.
Well, the crowd is set. Let's take a look at the California rules for tonight's 12-round IBF elimination bout. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter can be saved with bell in the last round only. Accidental foul, they'll go to the scorecards after the 4th round begins. Prior to that, it will be a technical draw. Diego Chico Corrales, 25-0. Grew up in Oak Park section of Sacramento, California. He is an accomplished chef, graduated from the Leaderwolf Culinary Academy. Would like to have his own restaurant someday. But he also specializes in punching power. He rated his performance against Hector Arroyo just a 5 out of 10. And Gairy St. Clair, well, this is a man that spent time working with Arturo Gatti. I don't know how much that will help him for tonight's fight, but one thing that we know, St. Clair was given some pretty tough workouts.
Yeah, another thing we know is you couldn't have different styles than Gatti and Corrales. Corrales, a tall guy, boxer, good puncher like Gatti, but fast hands, big different style. Not the kind of guy you'd want to really get ready for Corrales. Gatti's a come-at-you short guy.
Take a look at the first-round knockouts. Corrales 7, St. Clair has 1. In fact, 17 of the 21 Corrales knockouts have come within the first 4 rounds. Neither guy has been in against huge competition in their careers, but they're both young. Corrales turned 21 in August. St. Clair will turn 24 in February.
They have 2 things in common, Bob. The 0 at the end of their records, that they're undefeated, and neither one has been tested yet. That's going to change tonight. both those things are going to change tonight. Someone's going to have a 1 at the end of their record. Someone's going to be tested.
Corrales told us he feels that in watching some tapes of St. Clair, that St. Clair will fade as the rounds go on. St. Clair has never been past the 10th round. Corrales has only been past the 10th round 1 time. He says he'll box more, use lateral movement, work that jab, and explode with his right hand. He says he wants to keep a busy pace to force St. Clair to wear down early.
He says he has a trick. And the trick, I believe, is that he turns southpaw sometime.
Well, that's St. Clair.
Yes.
So far, he has not done that.
Yes, St. Clair is known for changing southpaw. And he has promised to do that. Also, he's known for throwing punches from awkward angles and round punches, looping punches, like he did with the right hand earlier.
Corrales not concerned about the cut over his right eye that he suffered against Hector Arroyo back on November 20th, though it did need some stitches.
That happened at the end of the fight, just before the fight ended in the 5th round. Fight that we did here in Las Vegas. We did on ESPN too. It's only been a month. He needed stitches for that cut. You don't know if there was enough time for it to really properly heal. You would guess it probably wasn't.
St. Clair doing a little styling, and then he switches to the southpaw stance. Good right hand to the body by Corrales.
Corrales has fast hands and he throws sharp punches. And he's trying to use his height, which you want to see with a tall guy. But he stands straight up sometimes.
Yeah, he's a 6-foot junior lightweight. I asked him what weight he thinks he'll settle in at. He says, I don't know, I have a ways to go. He does not have problem making the 130 pounds. The metabolism of a 21-year-old. Hey! Round number 2 underway in this 12-round IBF junior lightweight elimination bout. Diego Corrales and Gairy St. Clair. You know, if you're wondering, how does the guy ranked number 7 and how does the guy ranked number 12 get to fight for the number 1 ranking? Well, because spots 1 and 2 are vacant. You can't just put somebody in as the number 1 ranking. You've got to beat somebody in the rankings. So that's how this bout became an elimination bout for the number 1 ranking.
Yeah, it's a new ruling that the IBF and IBF President Bob Lee came up with, that if the first 2 spots are vacant, that if somebody in the top 15 want to fight each other and want to take that risk, they will go into the top spot. Not a bad rule, because if you keep guys from just sitting on their ratings and not fighting anybody, waiting for a big fight, it creates good fights.
I have some punch numbers from the first round, and you take a look at the punches thrown, and Corrales much busier, but not a whole lot more accurate, only just 3 more shots.
You'd want to see the shorter guy busier, because everything even, he's going to probably have to be busier to be in this fight with a taller guy who has some physical edges. Wonder if Corrales, a lot of people say, well, he was cut in his last fight only a month ago. Forget about whether or not he had enough time for the cut to heal for this fight. Was he able to prepare? Was he able to spar? The answer, no. But the fight was close enough where he didn't need a lot of preparation. He was in shape and he was sparring ready from the last fight.
Well, the reason why this bout's taking place on short notice, St. Clair only had 2 weeks. There's a right hand from Corrales. Really, Joran was supposed to fight Jesse Magana, but Joran was working out on the Stairmaster and he fell off and he suffered a cut around his eye. So that had to be scrapped.
2 things unusual here. One is that 2 undefeated guys are fighting each other, and the other is that they take this kind of dangerous fight on quick notice. Both guys obviously have their reasons. They believe they can beat the other guy. Left hand is down on Corrales when he throws that right uppercut. He has to watch that, because if St. Clair steps in with the right hand, he's going to score. And that happens sometimes. Remember Michael Nunn, when he was champion of the world as a middleweight, he lost his title to James Toney. He was throwing right uppercuts from too far away. Toney stepped in with a right hand, nailed him. Toney was behind in that fight too.
Same shot that Holyfield used to knock out Buster Douglas. in 1990.
Corrales nice and relaxed with his punches, real loose with his punches. Mixes them up nice.
St. Clair getting some things done as bell sounds to end round number 2. Well, as a kid, Diego Corrales used to have to cook for his younger brothers, and he developed quite a keen interest in cooking for his brothers, and he enrolled at the Leader Wolf Culinary Academy to meet girls, but instead he got his degree. We asked him about his cooking and what's the favorite dish that he can whip up.
The best dish I would have to say would be, again, I'll go with what my brother said, the chicken. I truly love the chicken. I think my best would be menudo, which is a Mexican dish. Love it. Some hominy, a little bit of lemon. That's one of my favorite. And that's just the lining of a pig stomach, and you get to slice it, and you put like the hominy in there, and you know, a little bit of the red powder pepper, some camino, and let it go. You know, just kind of simmer overnight, and it'll come out great.
Seconds out.
Oh, Teddy, you look that up in your kitchen all the time.
Except for the pig stomach part, it sounded pretty good.
Wait, I got it.
Well, it's baked chicken, too, he talked about, that he likes to make for his brothers. Another fine dish.
Guys, both of you.
He's got a good guy cooking up strategy in his corner, Kenny Adams. We start round number 3 of this 12-round bout. Diego Chico Corrales and Gairy St. Clair.
Kenny Adams from the Army, was Army amateur coach, head coach of the 92 U.S. Olympic team that went to Seoul, Korea. Also had a couple world champions, Kenny McKinney, Vincent Phillips. Good man to have in your corner. When we were looking at that piece there, one thing you could notice was those rings that are in his left eye. His mother does not like that. I read a story where his mother was very upset that he punctures his skin that way, feels that it can cause a cut.
Well, he also has an earring, a stud earring on his tongue. Obviously, he takes that out for the fight as he rips off the right hand. We asked him about the body piercing. Got 2 in each ear, the left eyebrow and tongue. He says he's not worried about it causing cuts. He says when you get it pierced and you give it sufficient time to heal, that the cartilage actually hardens.
He's in line with a lot of these tall, wiry, string bean, almost skinny, or I guess you could say skinny, guys that become world champions and great punchers. A lot of people think the big, strong guys are the big punchers. Those wiry guys, they get leverage in their punches. They can really punch. Matter of fact, on our classic piece, I think they're doing some on Bob Foster. Good example, light heavyweight, real tall, wiry guy. Could punch like heck.
There's Kenny Adams,
Back
coach
to the
of
right
the
side. Back to the right
United
side.
States
Step up.
Seoul
Use your
Olympics
jab.
team
No
in
walk in.
1988.
Don't walk in now. Just use your jab, man. Right hand lead.
Watch your right hand. Watch your right hand. Slip it.
Step right.
That's it. That's it.
Keep working. Keep working.
Keep working. Keep working it.
Work that body, baby. And jump around with the right hand. There you go.
Come on, Chico.
Feint.
That's it. Now give me the right uppercut. Give me the right uppercut.
Stay right. Stay right.
Step right down on the top.
Ah, you slapped on that one. You slurped on. You slapped on it. Step right there. Step around.
Watch your right hand. Put right in first chest.
Keep working there. Keep doing it. Give me 2 of them up there. Give me 2 underneath there.
Take it straight.
Break step. Step right. Come right.
Kenny Adams talking. Teddy, how much does a boxer actually listen to his cornerman in between a round like that?
You can't really listen. You got to concentrate on your job that you're doing. Every once in a while, you might hear one thing, but usually when you're really into the fight, you're not hearing too much.
We come to the end of round number 3. Diego Corrales throwing a lot more punches than Gairy St. Clair. Fans in Sacramento turning out to support boxing and support Diego Corrales as he begins round number 4 against Gairy St. Clair. This is an IBF junior lightweight elimination bout. The winner gets the #1 ranking in the IBF.
Like Corrales, good fast hands, real relaxed with his punches, and he uses his height. And he puts punches together, Bob, not one at a time.
All right, let's take a look at some punch numbers through the 3 rounds. You see Corrales busier. The connect percentage in favor of St. Clair, but Corrales has landed more shots. In the third round, Corrales connected on 23 of 77, and St. Clair very inaccurate in round 3, just 12 of 63. Good left hand by Corrales.
St. Clair's trying to get small with the taller guys, so he's harder to hit. And there he went upstairs after being downstairs and caught the standing up straight Corrales with the looping right hand. I think if St. Clair's going to have any kind of effect or success in this fight, it's going to be with the looping right hand, because Corrales does stand straight up. That looping right hand comes over top, you stand straight up, it can be really effective. Like Tim Witherspoon, the former heavyweight champ of the world, used to be effective with that punch.
Teddy has a shutout after 3 rounds. Teddy, what about the advice given to St. Clair in between rounds?
Well, they wanted him to get small. They didn't want him standing up tall, and they want him to work that body, which he's doing more of this round. So far, the talk in the corner has helped him so far in this round. He needs to be inside, past those long arms of Corrales. Needs to work the body and throw that looping right hand. Corrales has one flaw, stands straight up. The left hand is down sometimes. You can see he keeps that left hand low, Corrales, when he looks to throw that right hand. He can be timed, as I said earlier. The problem is you have to take a risk to step in there and time the taller guy. So it takes a real experienced guy not to be afraid to throw that punch. Nothing more than that.
Nice double left hand from Corrales.
Close round, early round with St. Clair. Corrales is starting to do what he has to do to bring it close again. Both guys were good amateurs. Corrales had 117 amateur fights, won a Nationals in '93. Fought a guy named Fernando Vargas twice in the amateurs, losing both times in decisions. And of course, Vargas, Saturday night, just won the junior middleweight title from Yuri Boy Campos. And I asked him about that. Does that help your confidence? Did you know you were able to fight a guy who became world champ? That might be in your future? He said, yeah, it's not a bad thing. Come on, Chico.
Well, St. Clair has been able to land that right hand. There he goes left, right. And by far the best action from Gairy St. Clair in the bout. Well, Diego Corrales ate some left and right hands in round number 4. And Teddy, by far the best round for Gairy St. Clair.
Became close because Corrales came back a little at the end, but I still gave the round to St. Clair. Made it a little closer. My scorecard, 39-37, Corrales. He had been pitching a shutout before that. We talked about the trainer, good man Kenny Adams in the corner of Corrales. Well, pretty good man in the corner of St. Clair, trainer. Lennox Blackmore, countryman of St. Clair from Guyana. He fought Aaron Pryor, the man that we talked about, who was a great fighter that we did the special on tonight. He fought him for the junior welterweight title in 1981. And most people that fought him, he was stopped.
Well, we mentioned,
but he made a good fight.
Well, we mentioned round 4 was a good round for St. Clair. Look at that. He threw almost twice as many punches and outlanded Corrales 21-9. So we've shown you the numbers through the first 3 rounds and how Corrales has been in control, but that illustrates how St. Clair has gotten into this fight.
And that illustrates how he can be hit with right hands. Just before that, the right hand, the looping right hand, connected with the straight up Corrales.
There's Lennox Blackmore.
Body shot to the left hand. Double up on him, body shot, left hand. Come on, work. Left hook. Left hook, Gary, come on. Work inside. Right hook, left leg. Work. Move your hand, side to side. Right hand to the body, left hook to the body. To the body with the right hook, son. Right hook to the body, son. Come on, Superman. Work, now, work.
Well, St. Clair not working as hard as he did in the last round.
Oh, no, he's definitely not. He's got the problem of getting in without taking punishment with the taller Corrales. But once he's inside, he has to make the most of it. because he doesn't know if he'll get that chance again, and to get that chance, he has to take risk. So when you're in there and you get past the risk, you have to make the most of it when you're the shorter guy. And you usually have to throw more punches than the taller guy if you're going to even up those physical disadvantages. He's going to win this fight, has to upgrade his punch ratio. No doubt about it.
Well, Corrales putting his punches together here in round number 5 and doing a pretty good job after St. Clair had a pretty good and solid round number 4. Remember, this is a 12-round junior lightweight elimination bout.
Well, of course, the winner would like to go after the IBF champion, Robert Garcia, because the winner here is an IBF guy. The best guy there is probably Floyd Mayweather, who will be fighting tomorrow night in a tough fight against Angel Manfredi, and the winner there tomorrow night will probably be the fight of the year.
Yeah, tough first title defense for Floyd Mayweather, and you could make the case that the winner of this fight will get Roberto Garcia, the IBF champion, and the winner of that fight will get Floyd Mayweather Jr.
If they want him. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the complete package. Really good fighter.
Look at the numbers in round number 5. St. Clair, jab-wise, was 0 for 26 in round number 5 as far as jabs are concerned.
See, Corrales did a little smart thing. Threw a left hook, right hand, and then stepped out, hoping to lure in St. Clair to get him to come in and leave himself open where he could catch him with a counter. St. Clair just did not bite at it.
Are you surprised that Corrales, when they get in tight, at least over the last round or so, has been able to do the better job with St. Clair?
If a tall guy, Bob, is going to be successful in his business and become a world champion, which of course Corrales and St. Clair want to do, well, then a tall guy has to learn to fight on the inside. That's why Riddick Bowe was able to beat Holyfield to win the world title the first time. Taller guy was able to fight with the short warrior inside. That made the difference. If he couldn't fight inside, he would have been beat.
Teddy's scorecard through the first 5 rounds, 49-46 Corrales. And here comes St. Clair with some bombs.
And the right hand started it because Corrales stands tall in front of this guy, and he shouldn't do that. Although now he's putting his hands up and dipping a little bit. That's okay, but don't do it too long because you got to come back and break up the offense. See, he went defensive too long there, Bob, and he's allowing the other guy to get off because he knows that Corrales is handcuffing himself.
There's that right hand again.
That's why the old timers say, you make a big guy miss, make him pay. For obvious reasons. So he doesn't put punches together on you.
And that Corrales keeping his punches short and scoring.
See, the key here is St. Clair is in close.
St. Clair is not a big puncher. 7 knockouts in 16 pro bouts. He does not have a knockout after the 4th round.
He's a good, solid fighter, and the best fighter that Corrales has been in with yet. That's why he's still there, and that's why he's having his moments.
St. Clair has had his moments. Corrales doesn't seem too phased at this point, and he scores with a good right hand.
Little grabbing there by St. Clair. It's got to give confidence to Corrales.
Now we come to the end of round number 6, the midway point of the bout.
Kenny Adams got on his charge there a little bit. He didn't like that round for St. Clair. He felt that he allowed St. Clair to get back in the fight and have life when he was starting to tire, starting to fade a little. You don't want to give a guy confidence when he's been behind.
Well, Corrales was much busier in that round. He threw 22 more punches. And did land 8 more, but St. Clair landed some big shots. And there you get a look at some of the numbers, the power punches that I referred to. Corrales 28 of 61.
It was a good last round for St. Clair because he needed it.
Did you give it to him?
Made it even.
Made it even.
Corrales finished a little bit stronger and exchanges a little edge to St. Clair. Very close.
I gave it to Corrales because I thought for most of the 3 minutes he was the better boxer, although St. Clair had that 30-second stretch. There is Teddy's scorecard. 58-56. 59-56. I thought you had the even one. That was 59-55 for us.
one thing that has to probably favor Corrales is as this fight goes long, he's been the more active guy, no doubt about that. 6.5 months since the last fight for St. Clair. Only 2 fights in 98.
Counter left hand by St. Clair, and then he ripped off a right hand. Corrales has a pretty good chin.
Been hit with that looping right hand a couple times. St. Clair, like you said, not a big puncher. But Corrales hasn't blinked.
And for that matter, neither has St. Clair when Corrales has hit him.
And you know what? He was a good amateur. You have 117 amateur fights, and you fought a guy like Fernando Vargas twice. And you probably have a good chance. Because it's been tested a few times. Because you've been fighting real top competition. You won a Nationals, you were fighting top guys. Guys that you usually don't fight in the pros till you get to 20-round status.
In the 96 Olympic Championships, he lost to Terrence Coffin, Big Corrales. Gary St. Clair had 122 amateur wins and won a gold medal at the 94 Pan American Games representing Guyana.
It was the juniors, though. It was not the seniors. A little different. Younger guys. Still shows that you can fight, though.
Clean it up in there. Good work.
See, pulling straight back, he got caught. Corrales credit, he threw the punch. Did not pull straight back.
Well, with the exception of a counter left and a right hand, St. Clair has not done a lot in round number 7, and it looks like he's digging himself quite a deep hole in Corrales' hometown. Diego Corrales and Gary St. Clair begin round number 8 of the scheduled 12-round IBF Junior Lightweight Elimination Bout. Friday night fights on the Deuce. At stake, the #1 ranking in the IBF. Let's take a look at some punch numbers through 7 rounds. And you see Corrales much busier, a bit more accurate. In round number 7, Corrales threw 29 more punches. He landed 11 more. So he's been busier and just slightly more accurate.
It adds up on my scorecard. I have it 69-65 Corrales.
You had round 6 even. Both agree that in round 4, St. Clair was the better man. He was busier, more accurate. There's that right hand again. Teddy, can he rely on just that?
No, he can't. Not with this guy. This guy's been around. This guy shows that he can take the punch. He needs more than just that. And plus, St. Clair's not the kind of big puncher that can erase their opponent with one right hand. So he needs a little bit more than that, I'm sorry to say, for him. But that time, it didn't land. Corrales dipped a little bit, which he needs to do. But the reason he dipped, he was on the outside, he saw it coming. When he's inside, he stands straight up and you can set him up. You can go downstairs and then upstairs, like that.
St. Clair's trainer, Lennox Blackmore, said, step in with the jab. Don't just throw out that left hand. Actually step in.
Well, you have to when you're the shorter guy, otherwise you're going to hit air. That's okay if you're in the gym shadow boxing, not if you're in the ring. Corrales is trying to use his height, though. You have to give him credit for that. He should be using that height. Now he's inside. Puts punches together nice. It's a real grind being a shorter guy, like a Tyson. Because mentally, you got to be always pressing, always pressing. You're a taller guy, you can take rest, you can take breaks. You can be a little more creative.
Yeah, you can even win a round taking break by just using a really good jab.
Good left hook that time by St. Clair. He surprised Corrales.
There's another left hand to the chin.
And he needs to do that. You can't live just by the right hand. Mix it up. The guy's looking for the right hand. Throw the left hook.
Right hand by St. Clair.
Having a good finish here. Corrales is napping too much. Not moving his hands enough. Just playing defense.
And so far, St. Clair hasn't faded as Corrales predicted.
You know, you shouldn't say short guys only can go one way. Stevie Johnson, a former lightweight champion who our guy Max just loves, he showed in the last fight the same night that Corrales fought a month ago in November in Las Vegas. He showed that a shorter guy can beat a taller guy by being smart, by boxing.
Well, Gary St. Clair has nailed Diego Corrales with some shots, but Corrales continues to press forward. We are in Sacramento, California. A lot of great boxing tradition in the state of California. Let's take a look at a Friday Night Fights flashback.
the scheduled 45-round bout between Sam Langford and Jim Flynn. Flynn holds a 2-inch height advantage, standing 5'9.5" to Langford's 5'7.5". The fireman outweighs Langford by a good 15 pounds, scaling 180. Langford, with his back to us, has been grooming Flynn for the KO since the first round, and he's about to finish the job. Watch. A quick but devastating combination, left and right, puts Flynn down. Langford remains nearby because in those days, a man wasn't required to go to a neutral corner in case of a knockdown. It's all over in 1 minute of this 8th round.
I'll tell you, it was scheduled for 45 rounds.
Yeah, and it went 8, but let me tell you something. Sam Langford, greatest fighter, I'm going to tell you, that ever lived, that never fought for a world title. Everyone avoided him. He beat 5 world champs, fought from lightweight to heavyweight, beat 7 Hall of Famers, fought for 25 years. Dempsey wouldn't fight him. Jack Johnson fought him once in a non-title fight and lost won a real close fight. He was on the floor, would never give him a title fight. He was a great fighter. The fireman Jim Flynn, he was no chopped liver neither.
And you had the 40 scheduled for 45 rounds, but a round could end if a guy went to a knee or there was a knockdown. So
one of the legendary stories. You know, you get legendary stories that are just great to hear from the old timers when you have these legends like Langford. He used to eat oranges in between rounds. So when he came to that fight, he came with only 8 oranges. They were going to the ring. And supposedly, fireman Jim Flynn said, "How come you only got 8 oranges? This fight's 45 rounds." He said, "It's only going 8.
quite a prophet.
He was a great fighter. And Flynn had a win over Jack Dempsey early in Jack Dempsey's career, 1-round knockout.
Well, Diego Corrales has taken some shots from Gary St. Clair in this fight, but he's never really even been backed up. Last round, Corrales was a little bit busier and landed a few more punches, but you do have to give St. Clair credit. The meaningful punches in round number 8 were tipped in the scales of St. Clair. Teddy, it's just, I don't know, the fact that St. Clair just doesn't have enough firepower to turn the tables here or what, but you know, right now this is settling into a Diego Corrales unanimous decision.
When you're a short guy and it becomes the kind of fight where it's really contingent on you, where the pressure's on you to press the fight,
Get out of there.
that takes a lot to every round have to be in there throwing a lot of punches. And he just has not been consistent in that area.
Teddy's scorecard, 78-75, Diego Corrales. He had 1 round lead, no, did not, so St. Clair less a point.
Good left hook right hand there by St. Clair. Not the big power, though. Again.
That makes it doubly difficult, I would think. If you're the shorter guy, you have to press the action. And then if you don't have that knockout pop, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Throw more punches. You don't knock everyone out. You throw more punches than the other guy.
But he's not doing that in the fight.
No, in the kind of fight it is, he's going to have to do that. Being that he needs to be inside, he needs to be busy. Because the other guy has the faster hands, puts punches together, and he's tall.
And he's not lazy either. He throws quite a bit of punches.
Yes, he does, when he has to. He looks like he's fading a little tiny bit, though, I tell you.
Good work.
Having a month without sparring maybe will affect him a little bit because of that cut eye that he couldn't spar for this fight.
All right, we come to the end of round number 9, Corrales and St. Clair. Kenny Adams getting set to pull the stool on Diego Corrales as they get ready to embark upon round number 10. This is a 12-round bout. The number 1 ranking in the IBF in the junior lightweight division at stake. Sacramento's own Diego Corrales, 25-0 with 21 knockouts. Gary St. Clair of Guyana, now fighting out of Crown Heights in Brooklyn, 15-0-1 with 7 knockouts.
And you mentioned about the stool being pulled out by Kenny Adams. He waited to the last second, gave his man, Corrales, every chance to rest. Last guy I ever saw do that, Bob, the legendary Ray Arcel, when he was in Roberto Duran's corner.
Take a look at Kenny Adams and listen in.
Give me the right uppercut, Chico. Come on.
You're going the wrong way, I believe. for it all night. I've been asking for that all night.
Well, I like the little sarcasm at the beginning of that. I think you're going the wrong way.
I'm glad we're moving to 9 o'clock in a couple weeks. Some of those kids will be sleeping.
Good combination by St. Clair.
Certain things they won't be hearing. Right now, Corrales might be hearing a little bells there. He just got caught pretty good.
And another right hand. So after a really good first half of this round, St. Clair now landing some bombs.
He's the one grabbing on the inside, but he scored, and then he grabbed, did not allow the other guy to answer back. Pretty smart strategy. Pulled back straight, got caught with the uppercut. The one thing I noticed, Corrales is not putting them together like he was earlier. He's fading just a little bit, but it's up to St. Clair to really step it up. If he stays even, he's going to lose this fight, at least in my estimation. He has to, it's on him to do more, not just to stay even the rest of the round. Usually it works that way when you're behind.
Right. We mentioned that starting in 1999, we moved to 9 p.m. Eastern. It doesn't help the kids though on the West Coast.
Now put earplugs in their ears when they're watching this fight. Sometimes.
Well, Gairy St. Clair has landed some bombs, but Diego Corrales standing right there after 10.
The benefit of combination punching. Instead of landing one, you land 3. And the last one was the best one set up by the first 2. Left hook, right hand, left hook.
Well, we start round number 11 between Diego Corrales and Gairy St. Clair. St. Clair has never been past 10 rounds. Corrales has gone past 10 rounds once. July the 11th of 1997, he stopped Manuel Castillo. Teddy, what about the exchange between Kenny Adams and Diego Corrales in between rounds 10 and 11?
Kenny said, I'm not talking. You notice I'm not talking? You're not listening? Why should I talk? Hey, a trainer, a coach, they have to take charge. They can't just sit by in the seat and watch if their guy's not doing what they want him to do. He's trying to get through to his guy.
Should I hand him my cell phone? Should he use that for the next round? You know about that.
This guy's winning. That's the good news.
Let's take a look at some punch numbers through 10 rounds. You see that Corrales has thrown over 100 punches more. He's landed only, though, 52 more punches. And in the last round, for example, he landed more punches and threw a few more, but St. Clair landed the more meaningful punches in that round. You and I both gave St. Clair round 10.
He's faded a little bit, Corrales, and there's reasons for it. You can look at either way of thinking. One is that he's in there with a better opponent. He's been tested. He's been stretched out a little bit more. The other is that he didn't have real preparation from a month ago for this fight. He took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. He should have been in shape, and I'm sure he was, but he couldn't spar because of the cut from the last fight a month ago.
Well, if he was counting on St. Clair to fade, as he told us, St. Clair really hasn't faded.
Sometimes when you depend on someone to fade and he don't fade, you fade.
Teddy's scorecard through 10 rounds, 97-94 St. Clair. You had an even round in there. Corrales in front. I had it 97-93 in favor of Corrales.
When you depend on somebody doing something, instead of just going in there to do what you got to do, and you say, okay, he's going to fade, sometimes you set yourself up for a little bit of a letdown. Good left hook to the body there, but then he pulled straight back, and St. Clair looked to throw that right hand. St. Clair needs to move his hands. He's pressing the fight, but not moving his hands quite enough. Good exchanges here. Both guys are trying to be the one that finishes. In a close fight, that's important. Who's the last guy to punch?
Good uppercut.
Yes, sir. The shorter guy leaning in, the taller guy should throw that uppercut. And he throws it again, he should put some on top. The head came up, he should put some on top.
A good finish to this round by Corrales, and a right hand, and St. Clair answers.
St. Clair turns southpaw at the end.
ass. Look up. Look up. Hey, you coming back here like, what you gonna do? You winning the fight. Well, you gotta keep your hands up and throw punches. Why can't you throw them? Are you tired? No. You're a liar.
My hands are killing me.
So what? This is for the championship of the world. I don't give a if they're dying, what do you mean they're killing you? Well, so what? What you gonna do about it? You want me to tell them to stop the fight?
Hell no.
All right, then. I want to see you throw some punches and go to work then. This is the last round.
Don't push him up. Stop pushing him. I don't want you to push him.
Ease away from
Just pull back. Instead of doing this, ease back. Right uppercut, left hook. Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. Come on. Don't get up here. Okay?
Well, what about Kenny Adams saying to Corrales, I don't care if your hand's hurt. What are you going to do about it?
Hey, this is a tough business.
You like that stuff, don't you, Teddy?
This is a tough business. He's not only getting them ready to win this fight, he's getting them ready for the future. The future does not end here. He's setting up future fights and attitude.
Well, let's see how Corrales responds and St. Clair. And here's St. Clair to the southpaw stance. We have not seen it often in this fight. One of the #1 ranking in the IBF junior lightweight division is at stake here. Show the midnight Eastern with some of the language.
Yeah. Might not be a bad idea.
Boxing before dawn.
This is for everything right here. I believe Corrales is ahead. And the way he's boxing on the outside, maybe he believes it too. He should be boxing on the outside, though, really. He's the taller guy. Use that jab, set up everything, take less risk. Make the other guy take the risk. You have an advantage that way. Make use of it.
There's Teddy's scorecard. 107-103 Corrales.
Bad news for St. Clair is he's not a big puncher. You would think he needs a big punch now to change things around. Corrales is keeping his distance. He has an edge. He can punch and he can land before Clair can.
Nice combination by Corrales.
Sometimes it's misleading how effective the punches were because St. Clair goes so low.
How about St. Clair with that left right on the button?
Yeah, and he did it from a southpaw position. Well, you know what? He said he was going to use a trick and turn southpaw. He's behind in this fight, at least I think. He might as well do it now.
But he did to start the round. Maybe he should have done it more in this fight. He did it in round 2 as well.
Well, I figure he should do it now because he needs something special to pull this out of the, pull it out of a loss.
Well, he lands another left hand, but I don't know if he has enough zip left on the fastball. But said the same thing about Davey Hilton against Stefan Willett.
But Hilton could punch. He was known as a puncher. And Willett did not have a good chin or was not known as a guy with a good chin. St. Clair's not a puncher.
Well,
Corrales has a good chin.
Well, slipped a little bit on the ring mat there.
Yeah, that gets slippery, that ring mat, the logo there, when it gets wet.
There's the bell to end it. Diego Corrales and Gairy St. Clair embrace. Corrales feels that he has captured the #1 ranking of the IBF. Diego Corrales and Gairy St. Clair finished of their 12 rounds of work, and we take a look at the total punches through the 12 rounds of the bout. You see Corrales outlanding St. Clair by 89 punches. He outlanded him by 16 punches in the final round, 32-16. Teddy's scorecard. Teddy, you had it 117-112. You had an even round in there. I had it 117-111. Here's Jim Hall with the key decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Dave Nelson sees it 118-109. Judge Steve English scores it 116-113. Judge Joan Ortega sees it 117-111. Winner by unanimous decision, now in line for a world title fight. Diego Chico Corrales.
Well, that's the way we had it. Now he's right there for a world title. And now he's going to know why Kenny Adams was yelling at him in the corner, because he's got something in front of him to still do. Work's not over.
He is now the #1 contender in the IBF junior lightweight division. A title shot against Roberto Garcia on deck.